Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. I hope you all are having an amazing day, inshallah. Some people are depressed because they've lost the love of their life. Some are depressed because of financial problems or losing their jobs. Some are depressed because they have everything but are still not happy for some reasons. And some people are depressed because they just can't find motivation to continue living. Let me remind you, dear brothers and sisters, that nothing, and I repeat, literally nothing in this whole universe can give you true happiness and content of heart. The only thing that can give you true happiness and true satisfaction is Jannah. Only in Jannah you will be truly happy and completely satisfied. If you attach your happiness with the people and the things in this world, you will always find yourself unsatisfied and depressed. But if you remember Allah often, and when you truly, deeply understand how much rewarding Jannah is, you will find yourself happy, because now you only live for Akhirah, and this motivation to live for the Akhirah never ends. You will always be motivated to do good deeds, to please Allah and earn His reward. And even in this, there is true satisfaction and happiness, because you realize that your actions and deeds are not going to waste. But if you don't have faith in Allah or in Islam, of course this will not work. Even some Muslims have low faith or iman, because they still have doubts in Islam and they don't agree with some of the commandments in Islam. Let me remind you that nothing in Islam is backwards. It's much more ahead of its time, which is why we're not able to understand the complete wisdom behind each commandment. Since Quran was revealed 1400 years ago and up till now, the scientists have not been able to find a single mistake in the Quran or a single sentence that goes against science. But shockingly, they're coming up with new discoveries which are already mentioned in the Quran 1400 years ago. Here are some of the miracles in the Quran.
10 miracles. So the first thing is the speed of light. Muslims believe that angels are created from light, and the angels communicate the affairs of God, which they get from what is known as a preserved tablet in outer space. And the speed at which they travel to and from this tablet, it turns out to actually be the speed of light. In the Quran, Surah 32 verse 5, it says, Allah rules the cosmic affairs from the heavens to the earth. Then this affair travels to Him a distance in one day, at a measure of 1,000 years of what you count. Hence, in one day, the angels will travel a distance of 1,000 years according to the lunar calendar, because that's what Muslims counted at that time. The belief is that God is saying that the angels travel in one day the same distance that the moon travels in 12,000 lunar orbits. 12,000 lunar orbits or Earth days equals the speed of light. Now, science shows that. The Quran also mentions hearing before seeing. So this is what I mean. So hearing is one of the first senses to develop. Now, this is only known in recent history, and it's also mentioned in the Quran. The Quran, Surah 76 verses 2, it says, we created man from a fertilizing sperm to test him, and we made him hearing and seeing. Also the Quran, Surah 23:78, it says, it is He who produced for you the hearing and the eyesight and the feelings, but little gratitude you show. So the Quran always refers to the hearing before the seeing, which turned out to be the actual order of human development in the womb. Also, sound waves. According to the University of Washington, the original sound waves were not temperature variations, but they were actual real sound waves spreading around the universe. Now in the Quran, Surah 41 verse 11 indicates this, and it says, then He directed Himself to the heaven when it was smoke, and then said to it and to the earth, come willingly or by force. They said, we do come willingly. So the heaven replying back implies that the heaven had a voice, which would mean it emitted a sound wave. Another miracle Muslims point to is high altitudes affect your breathing. As altitude increases, atmospheric pressures and oxygen levels in the atmosphere actually decrease, which eventually gets to a point where we can no longer breathe. Now, we all know this. The higher you go, the harder it is to breathe. Now in the Quran, Surah 6 verse 125, it says this, those whom Allah wants to guide, He opens their chest to Islam, and those whom He wants to leave astray, He makes their chest tight and constricted, as if they are ascending to the sky. Bones forming before muscles is also another miracle. Apparently the first formation of actual bones happens in the jawbone at day 41, and about 3 days later, that's when the associated muscles are formed. And in the Quran, Surah 23 verse 14, it says, then we develop the semen into a leech, then we develop the leech into a lump, then we develop the lump into bones, then we clothe the bones with flesh, then we produce it into another creature. Most blessed is Allah, the best of creators. Number 2, now we look at the part of the brain responsible for lying. So for centuries, everybody thought that the frontal part of the human brain was responsible for sight, because of course it's at the front of your head. But we know now that the part responsible for vision is actually at the back of the brain. So if you fall back and hit the back of your head, it could affect your sight or make your eyes go cross-eyed. But now science shows us that the frontal part of our brain, or the prefrontal cortex, is responsible for forming intelligent thoughts like creating lies. And Muslims quote the Quran, Surah 96 verse 16, that says, a lying, sinful forehead, which indicates that lying is happening in the front of your head.
You can search for more miracles of the Quran on YouTube, and I guarantee you that you will be left amazed, inshallah. I hope that helps. Assalamu alaikum.